It's Triple Crown here, Friday, July 26, 2024, day 3 of the National. I'm with Eric, Andy, and Garrett, just waiting to get in. Sea full of dealers and people with media badges, corporate badges, all sorts of stuff waiting to get into the building. Today was absolutely packed, a lot going on. Let's see what today's vlog holds.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
It's a 10 auto. Doesn't matter really about the card code. That kind of stuff.
225.
Okay, more than 500 too.
I'm good, thank you. This was a definitely disappointing sight to see at the start of day 3, but this is a fake Willie Mays autograph that I found on the show floor. Here's a picture of the same card. This one is also a fake, even though it's in a PSA holder. This is one of the most forged cards among Topps certified autographs, really in baseball card history. One of the dead giveaways that you can tell with this card is on the foil where it says Topps certified autograph issue. If you look at the legitimate signatures from this set, you'll notice that the spacing in the letters of autograph is much more spread out as compared to this one, where it looks like the letters are almost running together and touching in some cases. That was the case with the Mays autograph I saw there, where the foil in the A and the P as well as the P and the H in autograph were touching. Also, if you look on the back, whenever they put the hologram stickers on the back, the counterfeits are always very poorly placed. They're usually crooked, as was the case with this one. This was one of those situations where I wasn't sure exactly how to handle it. I wasn't sure if I should go to national staff to talk about it. I wasn't sure if I should go back to the dealer. What I ended up doing is making a quick little lap around the room, and maybe 15 minutes later or so, I went back to the dealer and told them that, hey, this is not a legitimate autograph. They didn't really seem to respond to it at all, which is an interesting way to respond to that. I don't know if they took it out of their case. I don't know what happened to it afterwards because I forgot where that dealer was. I know that they were somewhere in the second room. But if that's anything to take away, it's that do your own research and be careful. Like I said, this is a card that has still made it into PSA slabs and slabs of other companies as well. Just make sure that you are doing your own research on stuff. Always trust your own gut. And if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. On to one of the brightest spots of the entire week. I'm standing next to this very robust looking robot guy at the tag booth. I believe that's their mascot, picking up a custom card that I got done of my fiance and I from our engagement photo, and this card came out incredible. The tag custom cards were one of the hot topics of the weekend. They did a phenomenal job with these. I can't imagine how many of these they sold, but I couldn't have been more thrilled with how this turned out. Absolutely love having this. At this point in the show, I'm over in one of the back corners near one of the two men's restrooms that was on the main show floor. I'm trying to send a message to Eric those back pages to let him know where I'm at, and I'm realizing I can't send a message. In fact, I can't call him. I can't get on any messaging app. I can't get on any price checking tool. My internet connectivity is pretty much non-existent at this point. It also poses a problem if there's any cards that I want to look up, meaning that at this point I'm going to have to trust my gut if there's anything that I want, including the cards I picked out of the value boxes. On cheaper stuff, I usually don't use my phone anyways because I kind of have an idea of what cheaper cards go for just through experiences of dealing with a lot of them. But if there's something that's a little bit more rare that maybe I want to see some sales history on it, again, I'm going to have to trust my gut. And that's the case here with this Jamar Chase snakeskin that the dealer has at the top of this showcase I'm standing in front of. He has it priced at $600. It's a PSA 9. These cards are pretty tough. I would guess that there is a print run of less than 25 of them out there, probably closer to 10 to 15. Whatever the case may be, it's a rare card, but also a really nice looking card as well. Kind of has a team color match somewhat to the Bengals. Not perfect, but it's close, and I'm interested in it. 600 seems a little bit high for me. The reason I'm saying that is because I'm having to trust my gut instinct here. About a month or two ago, my friend Justin had the Amon-Ra St. Brown from the same set, also in a PSA 9. that he sold for, I believe, either $400 or $425. Can't remember the exact amount, but whatever it is, I know that Amon-Ra's market is pretty comparable to Jamar Chase's, at least in terms of cards that I have sold or seen sold. Pretty comparable in terms of their pricing. Jamar may be a little bit more expensive, and therefore I think that the value of that card is probably closer to $450-ish. I'm listening to what the dealer is telling other people looking to buy from him. He is pretty much only taking 10% off of his sticker with everyone else who is inquiring about cards, whether it be in the value boxes or the showcases. Therefore, I can kind of estimate his bottom on that. Jamar Chase is probably going to be around the 550 point, and I'm not going to try negotiating on it because of that. But it just goes to show that if you can't use a pricing tool, use your own gut, trust your own experiences from the past, and use that to help guide your decisions. Back to the value box stuff, though, I'm going to go through my stack one more time, possibly put some more things back, and then try to work out kind of a bulk deal for everything that I pulled out that I'm going to hang on to.
You do 310 on this stack?
What'd it come up to?
I think 340. Double check me.
Yeah, you said 310?
Yeah.
This dealer had pretty much anything that you could think of in terms of baseball. They had some oversized cards, they had some regional issues, they had pre-war, they had ultramodern, they had vintage, all sorts of different sets. You name the player, you name the product, chances are they had something that was what you were looking for or similar to what you were looking for. And initially I was asking about that Red Crusade Andrew Jones because you don't see cards like that every day. But upon second glance, I totally overlooked this Aaron Judge Gallon Ginter Chrome Superfractor Mini staring me down in the face, almost dead center of that showcase. It's not priced on the front, and anytime I see a Superfractor of a superstar player, I at least have to ask about it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What do you have on your Judge Superfractor? I don't like the sound of that.
How much money do you have?
1,000. Okay.
So after that particular dealer's supervillain laugh there, I kind of got scared that the Judge was going to be way out of my comfort zone, but at $1,000 it didn't seem too unreasonable. I wasn't initially interested in it at that price, but I walked to a couple tables down, and then I came back and I said, you know what? Maybe that's not so bad after all. And then I went through their value boxes. I pulled out that Eddie Murray slab because I know that Mike Baseball Collector needed it for his 4-decade set. I fished that out of there, figured it would just be a nice little gift for him. But now I'm back to talk about that Aaron Judge. I'm a little nervous because right back at this case, I can see things have been moved around, and all of a sudden I don't see it. But it turns out it's actually just moved over to those two cases that are silver off in the distance there. Crisis averted. Sometimes you go for a card at the National, you decide to think on it, and when you come back, it's gone. I heard it happen a lot at this show, and it's happened to me before at previous shows, but I think the best way for me to get to my number on it is going to be bundling. I'm going to shoot my shot with my initial offer. Highly doubt that he's going to take it, but you never know. But most likely, I'm going to have to get home on this by adding 1 or 2 more cards in addition to the Eddie Murray. That's just kind of a throw-in, I guess, in this deal.
Let's go.
Good, how are you?
Good. Is a Judge Superfractor yours as well?
Yes.
So you're able to get to 850 on it?
Yeah, everybody keeps telling me about the comps from a year and a half ago. There's one similar to that, I guess, from 2022 or something like that, a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay. I thought they were saying on that card, like,
yeah,
well,
no,
it's...
okay. It comped out at 850, whatever, a year and a half ago.
Oh, all right.
It was about 75 home runs ago.
Yeah.
Or 80.
And counting.
Yeah, cheapest, I mean, you're in the ballpark. Cheapest I'm going to go on is going to be $900.
I had a feeling you might say that. How much is the Seager 5-star that you have right next to it?
110.
That's 16 his rookie year, right?
That is...
The make it. I wonder if they could make it any smaller.
Yeah,
6 feet. Okay.
While I was looking at some Judge Supers, I did not even think to look at other Judge Ginter Chrome Mini Supers. In fact, it didn't really cross my mind because really there's only 3 of them out there, including this one right here that it could have possibly ever sold before. But it turns out that, yes, this dealer is right. The 2022 version actually sold last summer for $850. Now, this is the 2020 version. They're not the same card. This one happens to be the first year of Ginter Chrome, for what it's worth. But just because the Super sold for $850 back then doesn't mean that's what all the mini Supers have to be worth going forward. Things can change, and I would argue that the Judge market is hotter now than it was back then, even though Judge hasn't really lost any steam since his monster 2022 season. Maybe a small dip, but Judge was still one of the hottest baseball names here at the show. I think 900 is a pretty fair price for it. I'm going to see if maybe I can get a little better price on that Seager. It's a rainbow foil out of 25 from a product I absolutely love, being 5-star, and it's also from his rookie year. I feel like it's kind of a sneaky card that doesn't pop up too often. Perhaps I can get this Eddie Murray kind of as a throw-in for free to get that to go with Mike. I can just gift it to him. So my target here is going to be $1,000 for all 3, and I'm pretty confident he'll take that.
I did this with the Judge and the Seager. We're making it even 1,000. Thank you.
Difficult to hear it there, but he said yes. There's a nod and a handshake to seal this one. All 3 of the cards to me for an even 1K. Mike will get the Eddie Murray as a little gift towards his 4 decades set, and I'm walking away with the Seager and the Judge. Dealer walks over there to get a nice little fresh team bag for me. That's nice of him to add a little extra touch onto it. But I'm pretty pleased with this. I love Superfractors. It's one of the types of cards out there that I always get excited about when I acquire them. When I was super collecting Miggy, the Superfractors were always the cards that stood out to me the most. They were always the mail days I got most excited for. And I still have that excitement anytime I get one all these years later. Even though they're not for my collection, there's still something about the mystique and the aura of a Superfractor that gets me excited in the hobby. And that's something that you can't put a price on. This place became a zoo at this point. On Friday afternoon, there were so many people in here. It was absolutely nuts. There were very few showcases that you could even walk up to. I did find an area of some lighter traffic, and look what I stumbled across. The Amon-Ra St. Brown Select RPA that I sold about a month ago in a vlog I called A Bittersweet Goodbye. One of my favorite cards I've ever owned. And I see it in this showcase here, out from the repack that it was put into. And would you like to take a guess what it was priced at? Keep in mind that I sold it for $2,000 to someone who put it in a repack. It's now been pulled from said repack. And what do you think it's priced at? I'll give you a few seconds to lock in your answers. Well, here is the actual price. $8,000, 4x what I had sold it for. I was shocked, to say the least, to see this card in there at that price. Don't think I'll be buying it back. That is actually all of the deals that I made and things that I recorded on day 3 of the show. I'm going to show you some B-roll footage that I took earlier in the day. But at this point in the afternoon, I was not feeling so good. I know a lot of people caught COVID while they were there. I did take a test when I got home. It was negative, but I still had a head cold. I was losing my voice at this point in the show. Really, all I wanted to do was go to bed. And I left the show probably around 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30 on this day. I went back to the hotel and I told Eric, I'm not going back out again. And we thought maybe I was just hungry. I hadn't really eaten too much in the day. I decided to get some dinner at the hotel restaurant. We went back up to the room and I told Eric, you know what, I'm just going to lay down for a while and close my eyes. That was at 7 p.m. I got up twice to get water. And I did not get up until 7 a.m. the next morning. I was out for the count. This show was pretty exhausting on Friday, I gotta say. The crowds were unbelievable. I mean, it was difficult to even look at showcases, which is why I didn't really record too much, is because I couldn't really even find anything that I was interested in, mostly because I couldn't even look for things that I was interested in. A lot of the modern cases, as Theo Clemente Collector said in his video, they were 3 to 4 people deep. You know, people setting their Zion cases on top of showcases, or their backpacks were blocking views, or there were just so many hordes of people around that you couldn't really squeeze in and get to see anything. And because of that, I decided, you know what, it is probably a good time to reset. I've done quite a bit of buying. Having the Judge Superfractor deal under my belt that day made me feel pretty good about it. I felt like my best course of action would be to go back to the hotel, recharge, and try to make some deals on Saturday afternoon when maybe the dealers would loosen up a little bit with the things that were still left over, and then hit up the trade night on the final night of Saturday, see what I could find there, as well as close out the show on Sunday with hopefully some deals. Usually Sunday on the National is going to be your best time to find some bargains. I don't know how it was going to be this year, but hey, that was going to have to be the game plan at this point. So sorry for a little bit of a shorter vlog, but that's what happened after these last few clips. I needed the rest, to say the least. So I'll be back with the day 4 vlog and the subsequent trade night vlog here pretty soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, be kind.